This video is sponsored by Muscle Shirts, the premier online store for everything car related. Please check us out at muscleshirts.online and support us by getting one of our awesome products. We have a 15% discount for you at the checkout. Link in the description.
Cute cars.
Complete, it's running great and everything, but there was a problem. We had an oil pressure cutoff, or the oil pressure was to 0, and we had to get into the car and check everything out, and come to find out the old pickup screen was clogged. Another one of the many problems with this car. All right, and our next issue, we had a fuel injection issue after we fixed the oil issue. So get ready for a rough ride and enjoy the show.
Okay guys, had a little problem with this car. It's getting an low oil pressure reading under the hood. So, and of course y'all know that there's a bunch of junk under this engine. And I never dropped the oil pan, so I want to drop the oil pan now and find out what's up with this engine. See that, guys? That's not good. And I bet you this pickup is clogged too. Okay guys, I want to show you something. This is what you do not want to do. Okay, you do not want to not change your oil. This is the result. You see the inside of that? Okay. Can y'all see that? Look at that. That's what you do not want to do, is not change your oil. Okay, this is the result. Alright. This was a combination of garbage of not changing your oil and also the overheating situation of the car. It just unlodged a lot of fragments in the engine from not changing your oil, and it ended up in an oil pan. Okay, had the engine not overheated, this wouldn't have happened, but it still would have been bad to not change this filter. Okay, thank God this car had one, or would have, you know, it would have done a lot of damage to this engine. as good as supposed to. Gonna use a different chemical. Gonna use paint thinner. So we need to put gasket sealer all the way around here as best as we could. We're going to use gray RTV. Gonna bend this thing back, the one that I bent, trying to get it off. And then once we're done that, we can put it back on the car. Okay, finally. I got most of it out, and this should be enough for it to run decently, so now you can actually see the bottom of it now. Oil filters, you need to fill them up to the top before you install it, so you have very little cavitation. You pour it in the middle section of the filter. Once it's full, you're good like that. And then don't forget to lubricate your O-ring like this with the oil that you have here. Lubricate it. When you put it on, you're going to put it on hand tight, okay, with one hand, so that way you can't over tighten it, and that way it'll be easier to remove with one hand and a rag, giving you grip when it's time to remove it. Okay, so this is the proper way to prep an oil filter, so you won't have any air bubbles into your engine, and it'll cause dry run in your oil, or lack of oil for a short amount of time in your engine, which is destructive, like what happened with this one. Hopefully it's okay. Alright, and that's what we do too before we put the filter on. Okay, here's your filter area. We're going to put the oil filter up there. Okay, I already have my filter filled up. And make sure you lubricate that O-ring before you install this. Okay, you can install it with one hand, as tight as you can. Even with a rag, it's okay. Just as long as you do it with one hand, okay? One hand tight, as tight as you can. There. Then when you remove it, it'll be easy. Okay, now we're gonna add the oil. Alright guys, your oil filler tube is gonna be right here. That's where you put the oil. Okay, when you add oil into the engine, you get this thing and you reverse it like this, and then it'll be easier to control the oil going in, just like that. Okay, the jug is in reverse. And you may not need a funnel if you do it this way. You're going to put 4 quarts of oil in there. Okay, then once it's almost done, you flip it as you're pouring. You flip it the right way. And then you let it drain. As soon as it starts dripping slowly, then you know you're done, okay? Now you see that? It's dripping. Yeah, you're done. And that, folks, is how you do an oil change and also how you drop an oil pan in a 2017 Hyundai Accent. Okay, and you put the cap on. And check the oil. Yeah, she's good. She's about right here. Full, perfect. I'm gonna start her up. I'm gonna see if that oil light turns back on. If it does, it's gonna stay on just very little. There we go. And she's off. There you go, folks. Pressure's nice. Very good. Don't worry about that. We all know what that is already. That's the another issue. Very nice. Okay guys, that wraps up this oil change and dropping of the oil pan. You should be good to go. Let the oil pan gasket dry and then you can ready to be driven after that.
BBG cars.